Let's go, High Coast.
You
There we go. Thank you, Dreamleague.
You can't
Great
use
production
Team
value.
Liquid's cheer for that. That doesn't work.
What?
Anyway,
That is actually universal, to be fair.
Anyway.
I try to just, you know.
But like Purge was saying, yeah, for sure, Viking are the hard favorites in here. High Coast have to prove themselves because,
Yeah.
of course, they haven't at all during the league so far.
Very politically
Speed
correct.
drafting.
They are speed drafting. These openings, of course, you can theory craft them already before the series began, and that's probably exactly what they have done. And as pointed out earlier, it has been a while since we have seen High Coast, so they've had all the time in the world to prepare for a Viking and their Shaker, which means they ban out. They actually also ban out the Troll, which I'm surprised about. We've only seen Viking play Troll in the DPC League anyway, only once, and it didn't win.
Maybe it was to protect their beat.
Yeah, I think if you look at Chessie's hero pool, none of them really gravitate towards pressuring what a troll can bring. And it just allows them to have confidence with this early Chessie pick. And it's like, okay, we've already covered ourselves with an early ban. Now we can look to ban whatever we need for the pick that we actually get. And I kind of like what High Coast has right now. Normally, the Shaman into Nyx is that big counter. And they've got the Beast again, which is a good counter to Nyx Assassin. So they've doubled down on removing this Nyx from the game. The Necro Free for the True Sight into the Nyx. The instant lockdown from the Shaman. It bodes well. And now they have two good heroes into the puck as well. Yeah, like this is a nice opening.
But it's really flexible coming out from Viking here, you know. I mean, obviously, Nyx Assassin most likely relegated to the 4 position, but Puck is very flexible. And High Coast really, they're very transparent of where they're placing these heroes.
I would agree with you 100%. I think these bans, though, from Viking should indicate where the puck's going. The TA, the DK, the Void Spirit, these are all like the counters to a mid puck. Unless they are like 5-head big brain drafting right now.
The mind game.
Yeah, it's like, we'll ban out the mids. And then we'll actually put it support, but that would be just worthless. So yeah, I think this is just a mid puck, this 4 position Nyx.
They can only do that once.
That is true, yeah.
Maybe this is the game.
They scratched their head at, why did we waste 3 bans for a mind game that didn't work?
Yeah.
But this is a pretty clear one. Like, yeah, this is the mid puck for sure.
Oh man, I really hope it's not just so you can eat your words.
Why not? Like, but I did predict the. You know what? Why am I joining this? I don't know.
So far in the DPC League, Viking has only played Puck once, and they had Toby play it on the offline.
Interesting.
So,
I remember that game. He died like 3.
It was a hard knock life for him.
he did win, you know.
Yeah, it was the Lifestealer Lush game.
Yes, it was.
With the Oracle too. Ooh, there's a Chen picked up.
They want to get out of this game quick.
Yeah.
They saw the schedule yesterday and they're like, you know, we got to do everybody a favor and just close this one out real quick. Just for the sake of the last series of the day.
Wait, what?
And
That's
really
what Hellbear Smashes did, Purge. We lost 2-0 quickly, so we don't have.
exactly
Thank you.
what I was thinking. I was like, man, T-Gub's probably really sad right now, but I really appreciate him for telling the team to throw the
No,
next
exactly,
game.
yeah.
That way it was just over.
I was like, lads, we've already got top 2, right? Pretty much. So can I have an easier work day, please? And they're like, you know what? We got you, homie. And then we just unplugged our keyboards. 2 games.
It worked.
It did.
So now that you see this amount of push coming out on the side of High Coast, they pick up the Grimstroke, can deal with the summons quite easily. Is that enough to deal with this onslaught incoming?
It's a good
I mean,
start.
it's a very good counter.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
No, I was going to say the same thing. It's like it's about building up the kind of the draft to be able to deal with High Coast presenting. Like this is not like 3 flexible heroes that kind of surprise you with how they pivot. It is we are going to play our lanes, we're going to pressure early towers, and we're going to try and invade your jungle. So Viking, they already have Puck and they have Grimstroke for wave clear. I'd like to see one hero that can stand in front of this aggression. Maybe some Tidehunter, maybe some big melee lad, and then suddenly you're going to be in a good spot to prolong the game long enough that your big carry gets to win the game.
Catch is like insane coming out from Viking though, because both of these heroes do so well with an ink swell on them, right? Because a Puck can just, orb on in. He's got the ink swell, just pop that. You've got a Nyx Assassin who can like sneak into the back lines, get the jump off. Is this going to be a Grim off lane too? Is my next question as well. Like priority high enough.
Well, there's their tanky hero that they need to defend weights. You're right that the follow-up is good with Grimstroke, but based on High Coast picks, they're clearly going to be deathballing towers whenever pressure. So Inkswell against like Juggernaut, for example, is not going to be as viable unless you can stun him or sound. And then they're also going to have healing ward the back line. That should keep everybody alive.
Does it mean that you now want to ban out Death Prophet to not have the complete Death Ball coming out? I think we're missing a Supreme hero on High Coast. And, well, they ban out Shadow Fiend, first of all, because why not? But
Yeah.
Should you be worried about stuff like Death Prophet or more push, even more push potential?
Like too many push heroes, then you're going to start having some lackings in other areas. So one place that they're having trouble is like burst damage. So SF, while he isn't necessarily the best tower pusher, he would certainly help you like kill important heroes like Timbersaw with the disables they do have. So I think something that lets you gank or burst a little bit is going to be more important to overall their game being more.
It will be interesting to see if Heiko's look towards one of those classic int mids to utilize the Chen Shard, where you have the TP back to base. So obviously the opposite of Coddle. Coddle brings him 2, and then Chen sends him away. But if you have this mid hero that has the bots, suddenly you're already back in the fight, and you kind of have this kind of pseudo 2 lives. And that's maybe what they look for. It's like a really high pacing mid, but they have last pick. So they're going to pretty much see everything that Viking wants to do. Heiko's, they're banning out these big illusion or at least kind of win condition heroes that when Heiko's their draft, 15-20 minutes, they're going to group to 5, running their heads relentlessly into Viking. If they get stalled for about 10 minutes, this win condition wins them the game for Viking. So they need to make sure that they take away the ones that would just somehow carry the game 30 minutes plus. Question is from Viking, are they scared of another tempo mid? So if does Heiko's like double down for like a Pugner or something? But again, they have last pick, so it's so easy for them. Once they decide on their pick.
They've got the Nyx Assassin too, you have to keep in mind. So like anything that's too squishy, too based is not going to have a fun time if Viking gets their plans off the ground.
But if they don't get their plans off the ground, it's really not that big of a deal. You're talking like level 1 mana burn once in a while, which is annoying, but it's not the same as having to worry about Pugna Blast and all the other.
Also, there isn't really a clean way for Viking to take a big team fight right now, simply because Beastmaster with Necro Free and Pipe, Chen with a mech and the hill, and then Shaman well positioned with sentries. There's no kind of surprise factor for Viking, and they don't really blow anyone up. They don't have this kind of, we're taking the fight right here. Sure, you have core, but it's that +1 damage.
Banning the Death Prophet. She does have decent, not the best ganking, but definitely a lot harder for Viking to kill. They're definitely lacking single target damage a bit right now. More like AoE.
5 seconds remaining.
Tanky mid helps them push or burst damage.
Yeah, and who hits the towers on the side of Viking? It's this final pickup.
Catapults, yeah.
Well, yes, yes. But ideally, you would like a little bit more than that. Sassy Purge. Surrounded by sassy people today.
Another illusion hero removed. Terrorblade.
Their AoE is a little bit lacking, so
By the way, this game is one of the few games where all the spirits, apart from Voice Spirit actually, never mind, almost all the spirits are still in the pool. Naga coming out for Viking. It is an illusion hero, so it is going to be, as Purge calls it, a pain in the butt. Is it going to be enough?
The thing is, because of the Beastmaster axes being magical, you do have a plan B for a beast into Naga lane that used to be very Naga favored. So it is a very good hero for kind of the later portion of the game. They want to keep the map split, Puck, Grim, Naga. The game, they will never take a proper fight until Naga has 3-4 items, realistically. But I don't think the laning phase is as good as they might expect it to be. I have seen Beasts actually win that lane and also still be able to take the tower at some point. But no, I like the fact that Viking realize that they can't win the draft with this pick. So it's kind of a insurance policy of, well, if we survive long enough, we will just be able to completely outmaneuver them in the later portion of the game, and kind of the constant chip and poke of their heroes will be very strong. It does give High Coast a very good window, though, to win this game.
There's really good things about Song as well in this. Like, if your opponents are death bally like this, then Song buys you options to, like, if they ever get out of position, like, it buys you an opportunity. Song, kill wards. You could Song and set up and get ready to jump certain heroes. There's decent options, really good combo options with Song into, like, Puck, Nick.
We're gonna have a Storm Spirit.
They do utilize the Chen, and yeah, I like that a lot. It gives them a really strong entry to the game, where this quick Orchid can potentially kill the Puck a lot. You have this push potential from High Coast, and this is a game where they've had 8 days or so to prepare. They've been able to kind of hone in their team play. This is a draft that should, with good execution, just win a game. And yeah, I think that says a lot about High Coast and the confidence that they're having coming into the series. So no, I like it.
All right, Purge. Well, how about you? Do you like it?
I do, yeah. The first 4 picks looked excellent. They're like on paper, like the perfect sort of strat, especially with hero strengths in the meta. And Storm should allow them to get across the map. So I could see that working really well. But maybe they'll not execute perfectly and Viking can take a win here. But I do like the high coast draft better.
All right, thank you very much, Purge. We'll come back to you at the end of the game. And T, you already said you liked it for high coast. Moxie, I know you backing Viking all the way.
All the way.
As said earlier. But this high coast draft does look pretty decent.
It does. It absolutely does. But I believe in Chad the Chad on the Naga Siren.
Ooh.
I believe that, you know, some of these teams, they're not really great at closing out games. And when you're not great at closing out games, they get so much nicer when you do have that Naga Siren who's still, you know, farming up, getting bigger and scary and becomes a veritable raid boss. So put me down for Viking.
All right, let's find out how this first game is going to play itself out. We're heading over to our commentary team of OD Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, Viking versus High Coast. Fog, what do you reckon? Because I've got to sort of agree with sort of the fact that High Coast draft looks pretty nice, right? They've got a whole lot going on here in terms of the timing that they're going to want to hit. And, you know, Vikings on the other half, it does seem a little bit like, well, let's just pick the Naga Siren and hope we don't lose, then we'll probably win. I mean, what do you make of these two lines?
I have to agree. Ease of execution, high octane, high tempo from High Coast. And yeah, Viking, they're going for just greed, their own style. They're trying to just greed it up after they saw all these pushing heroes come out. And, you know, I think this Naga Siren is one of the last options that they did have left for those super greedy late game carries as TB's banned, PL's banned. You want something else that can actually deal with this push and be able to pick and shoot battles to take it to late game. And he actually has some merits. I like that Kevin actually pointed out. Killing the wards is actually pretty big. I feel like you can actually song, kill serpent wards, kill healing wards, set yourself up for some good combos. But it's going to take a while. You know, this Viking draft, it's not going to be a quick one. If it does end up being their favor to win this game, it's not going to be 30 minutes plus.
Oh!
Unless some weird stuff happens.
See, Aramis, he steps up to the high ground. Charlie's able to chase him down. First blood for High Coast there. Viking trying to make that 5-man move, but High Coast, they were prepared. They were there ready on the high ground.
Very nice. Perfectly positioned. Yeah, get the high octane team the first blood. Sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, that's the dream way for this sort of lineup to start. I mean,
30 seconds.
so it's sort of Viking, you know, how are they going to be able to hold off this power that High Coast is going to be building up? Like, do you see sort of this Timber being able to turn up, sit in front of a tower and being able to stop and slow down High Coast? Or do you think High Coast I'm going to really struggle with killing him when it does come to trying to hold the towers on Viking side?
I think Storm was a decent solution. Give them a little bit more damage because besides the Storm, their damage was pretty much 0 to actually kill that Timber when he set up around these towers. So I mean, Viking, they could be able to defend them if they do set up properly. Toby has to be prepared already, like sat up on these towers. Then they need to have either the Puck and Grimstroke setting up. And Timber, he parks himself, but he doesn't clear the wave so fast. They can still. They're gonna need a nice joint effort to be able to stop these huge pushes that would come. Because High Coast, they're gonna group. It's gonna be a very group heavy. I like that they didn't put themselves fully locked into this situation though, where you're stuck in a position where, oh my God, we didn't push and end the game. At 20 minutes, we lose the game. They can also scale. So I don't want to just set this up as
because I was gonna ask.
Over.
Yeah, how
Jug and Storm can scale quite nicely. If they get too far ahead, then they're gonna just be able to deal with everything that Viking has, even if it gets to later stages. Because the Jug can go back for Battle Fury, Storm can be a bit greedy, so there is a bit of push and pull there that they can work with.
I mean, because that is the thing. Do you think this Jug, you know, Charlie, will he build like the Battle Fury anyway, or you think when you have this sort of draft, he's not gonna go for that? He is gonna try and build these items that are gonna enable him getting fighting. Maybe go the Maelstrom route.
Honestly, after watching the way that OG does it, like that bot's minus when you can take advantage of push. Like, it's clowny, but especially with this lineup where Healing Ward is gonna be so good, I could see him, if he wanted to go that route, he could go something green. And that seems to just be a very mid-one thing, but hey, I do think there's a possibility for it for him. As we see some creep manipulation up top, both are trying to equal out the lane positioning because they can't kill Toby. It's a Chen. If they had a different support, they could kill him maybe once or twice, but with the Chen, it's really hard. As soon as Toby hits 3, the Jug's not enough.
I mean, he
yeah,
you know, not like going to be making any early moves up top, so no real threat of being ganked.
And look at what Aramis did. I haven't seen this in some time. So there was a time actually at TI where teams were doing this a lot. You pull these triple melee creeps and you keep them. you don't take the whole wave. You only kill your range creep. So he's now done. I think he did it the first wave too, but now this wave he did do it. Kills his range creep, and now this is going to mess up that whole creep equilibrium. So Toby gets a lot up top, and they deny a significant amount out of this. I have not seen this done in a very long time. It's a really tough thing to make work every time, is you have to pull it perfectly into your range. But yeah, it shows that he's working on it.
Come over to mess around.
But he got it on the range creep again. Look, that range creep. Look, they're dancing between who wants to get the deny. Zibe can't get the last hit. Gets the deny. Lane's going to push into Toby's favor. Very happy Timber Saw and an unhappy Charlie.
No, absolutely. Away from him is going to add up. I mean, it already...
I forget who did it so consistent. Someone did it very consistently. I think it was at TI. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a common thing that we started seeing a lot. And we're like, oh my God, that is some big brain stuff. Pulling it onto that range creep. Seems small, but very impactful.
We're on the left. Well, pretty close, really, to start with. Mid lane, Boom, 18 for 2. Supreme, 3, but he's coming in. So pretty much an even matchup so far in the mid. Is that expected here, or do you sometimes see one of these heroes take the lead in this match?
Very skill-based matchup. They're actually just ganking Supreme. Oh, nice move here from Aramis, getting Boom a kill.
Supreme, I mean, he's going to turn, but yeah, not quite enough burst to threaten Boom. Boom will get away with it. We'll lose his courier, or maybe not. Yeah, it's okay. Zibe has got it.
I've seen this matchup go both ways. It really is just like who gets like the better setups for last, is better blocks, better small things coming. The Pucks lately, I think Puck is a little bit easier to make work, but I have seen Storms win this match. Nice move from Aramis though, and they did a good job of like pushing the lane in really hard so they can go for that dive play. That's the thing that Puck can always do for Storms. And now Ruin is being secured as well by 2 supports from Viking. But Era actually does guard it off and block away that Grimstroke from getting it, so Supreme will freely fill the bottle. And has a way to play around silence, at least, with that illusion rune.
I might. Aramis was swing mid and set up to him once again. I think on both the carries right now. Shad having the slightly better time in terms of farm, but actually get gone on a bit by Era and Chessie. Clear for the illusions pretty quickly as well, as now they'll be able to continue to chase him down. Celery from the side, slowing the 2 of them. Shad will... Are they going to be able to burst him? They are.
Got him.
They're able to reach in, and with that final bit of burst, I mean, it all adds up there. That chase long enough for them to basically get 2 rounds in there with the axes and the Aftershock, and it's too much for Shad to deal with.
And I was going to point this out too, that I'm so happy Chessie went for the build. Rather than going for Inner Beast,
Yeah.
Sure, your right clicks are weaker, but your axes are magical. You're playing into a high armor hero like Naga Siren. Magical axes, get 2 stacks of them when he's too far up. That's exactly what gets him a kill. Big props to Chessie for going this build. Don't see it. We see it a little bit more often lately, but yeah, when you're playing versus those high armor heroes, people will remember magical axes for quite some time now.
Stupendous.
Top, Charlie still continuing to struggle up here, and Toby is getting kind of close to the 6. They're actually going to be able to bully him a little bit. Should be fine with his wand charges.
Oh, gets
Actually,
the courier.
himself a courier. All right.
All right. And yeah, Toby's not going to quite be able to finish off the kill. Charlie has 6
but
charges.
Jibe could die here. There's an Orb of Venom. They're just right-clicking, chasing him.
Oh, but the stun misses. I mean,
He's healing himself up.
He's still dead.
The Troll Priest.
He is
The
still
small
dead. He
heals.
does indeed try his best to keep himself alive.
It's cute. He's mana burning them. Look, he's mana burning Toby and healing himself up. It was a nice attempt. And maybe Charlie can get a return kill.
I mean,
Close.
he doesn't want to go looking. Bottom lane, Shad. He's in with the illusions this time around. Chessie unable to clear them out.
Boom, gets himself the haste rune top, gets a lucky spawn, and Shadow Shaman was checking bottom rune. That's why they went aggressive onto the Beastmaster. And Boom gets the rune anyway. So all 3 lanes looking pretty good right now for Viking. Toby will be able to Timber Chain away from the Jug. Yeah, doing a good job. The Beastmaster, they did get the 1 kill on that Naga Siren, but we do see Shad is still absolutely getting, for the most part, free farm down here, and he is slowing down Chessie more than the Timber Saw is being slowed down on the opposite end. Timber can't be pressured in the lane.
Quickly as I go.
Boom's actually getting active, so it looks like they want to try to make a move top. Charlie's going to get the early spin off, and that means no spin for when Boom's here.
Oh, and indeed, Boom just turns Dreamcore down. He's got the Omni Slash. And they're coming in with the zip. They're actually to get the setup as well. Boom's going to get dragged back. Supreme saving the day.
Baby.
I mean, what a move there to counteract what looked to be a smooth play from Viking. Down bottom, Era, he's turning on a Stellar. He's able to get the kill with the help of Chessie. Axes come back out. Era and Chessie are going to be fine. It is 3 heroes dying on Viking across the map. I mean, yeah, that top lane move there. No hesitation for Supreme to turn up.
You couldn't say anything better. Like, that was just absolutely perfect the way they did it. Charlie with the Omni saving himself up, and he's safe to stay up here too is the important thing. He's been restored up too from that creep. I think Supreme maybe gave him like a bottle charge or something too, because he has a lot of mana. I didn't actually see, but yeah, Charlie now gets to stay up here, and they kill the Timber. They slow him down finally.
We'll see it again here. I mean, it does start, as you say, it's like, all right, there's no spin. This looks pretty good here. They're going to be able to kill the Jug, but as soon as they go on the Jug, that TP's coming in. He gets that Omni Slash. I mean, he's only just hit the 6 as well, so a brilliant time for him to have that. And Supreme, perfectly done. Target to target, controls and takes down the 2 of them.
Real good stuff coming out from High Coast here in these last few moments. Still not having the gold leader here at these 8 minutes. It's very close, though, as they've been able to at least match most of these kills and at least fix the situations where that Timber is getting a little out of control. But now they do have to give the respect still to Timber. Charlie has to back out of that lane, go to the jungle, and now Toby's going to be able to apply good pressure onto this path. Well, on the opposite end, Beastmaster can't apply the same pressure just yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You catch Stellar if he shows his face.
Charlie will just spin down the wave top, just let that nice wave clear. Boom still looking to think. He's still thinking about making some move toward top, it seems. He has a DD in his bottle. We'll get some stacks started, but he doesn't want to be playing the lane. He wants to be hiding off of the map as this Puck so that they feel threatened in the side lanes, and then just give the Nyx the mid lane, as we see right now. Aramis taking that XP in mid, and Puck will just farm. So even when he's off the map, it's still that invisible pressure that's being caused. Same thing for the Naga Siren, but just a little bit of downtime from both sides.
And this, I mean, the fact that Jug is still that bit ahead of Shad, you know, just goes to show how much a difference that sort of turnaround play made from Supreme. I mean, Charlie with the Maelstrom. I mean, who is able to really sort of farm faster? That this Jug or the Naga Siren? Like, is Shad going to be able to take over with the game as it is, or is Charlie going to be able to stay ahead?
Bit early to tell. It's very, very even right now. The Maelstrom's going to be a good timing, though. Celery's 6 already bottom. Boom rotates.
Yeah, this time around, he'll be able to get the easy kill on a Chessie. As, wow, Supreme's going to come in with a counterplay. And do have the stun. Nice dodge there from Supreme. As he's out the way of the impale. He's heading for the bounty rune. He'll be able to get that bottle reveal. And Era stopping potential chase from Boom.
Very nice. The Maelstrom build is just so good this game, though, for Charlie. So there's definitely hopes for him to have that potential to keep himself scaling versus this Naga. Even if they don't get their big push going, this is a great item this game. Versus Naga, versus Timbersaw, this magic damage will be nicely and effective.
Very close hit early on. I mean, what sort of timing do you expect we'll see High Coast start to group up and go? Like, is there some sort of big item or?
Just right when they get this book 1 on Chessie, I think that's right when they start pressuring the towers, and he's got it coming already. I think you have to start, even though you're feeling comfortable with the game, you want to start kicking up the pace, and that's what your draft does. You have Shadow Shaman, Beastmaster, Chen. You really want to start forcing these towers to get this advantage. Because the other team, you know, the opposing team, Viking, they don't have tower hitters. They have a Timbersaw.
Oh, Charlie!
I didn't count as one now. They bought him.
All right. He ran straight towards them there. I think.
Okay.
I guess he felt that he would get the chance to play aggressive into them. Maybe didn't expect quite as many of them to be hidden in the trees as there was. But
that's a disaster.
It did make for quite a funny looking situation there as Charlie runs into his death.
It's right before the book, I think, was even summoned too or something like that. That was just a little bit too ahead of time. In Viking, they're going to punish more.
Yep, Dream called out.
Mistakes, High Coast.
On the side, in they go. Good stun holds the 2 of them off to the side. Mech will be popped. Eric gets the Hex off Supreme. He's coming in with the control roar as well. So they'll take down Aramis. Can find anything more. Toby's already out to the high ground with the chain, and they've got no further catch.
Oh my, they clear up the book and several of the Chen summons though from Toby. And the important thing is that they completely stopped this tower push. It's only at half HP. That was one of the bigger pushes that High Coast does in the early game, and it's just completely stopped. Naga Siren's getting free farm. Bit concerned here for High Coast if they don't make the push happen perfectly the next time. Viking GG's is getting way more out of the map, and they're taking top tower and they're defending their tower when they're playing versus the Chen Beastmaster Shadow Shaman lineup. It's a testament of its own.
They can't afford to mess one of those push again.
No, it really hurts Charlie too. Any downtime when he's dead, Naga Siren just skyrockets past. Charlie has to be very careful.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing as well. Yeah, dying before he even had the Maelstrom done.
Yeah. They can't make this. They can't make any more mistakes. It feels like these pushes have to go the right way, or the threat's gonna start being there. That looming threat of Naga Siren, where you don't have the tools to deal with it as well. Sure, you have the Jug going Maelstrom, but the rest of your lineup does not address these illusions. And Aramis, he has a Meteor Hammer already somehow done.
Dire are scanning.
You do get the scan, Charlie. Seeming to know something's up.
And they've got Puck around. But they're not going to try. They're not going to try anything on him.
No, Aramis might just give him like a poke and run maybe or something like that. But yeah. I think he knows that there's some help at the side. Now they're going to actually smoke, try to find Aramis. This invisible annoyingness though. He's setting up on Charlie.
He is, but Supreme instantly onto the back line. Straight away on a boom with the silence. Sarah steps forward with a Hex onto Aramis, as they were indeed perfectly prepared for this, High Coast. They knew that Viking was hunting around. They knew that they'd be persistent as well. Now, that scan did come in quite a while ago, but trusting that the Viking would go for that, and they did. They read that perfectly, High Coast.
Patience is a virtue. A great scan just leads them to being patient. Themselves some tunes. And that's the Orchid reveal, so a good timing from Supreme, also level 12 for his level 2 zip. And now, since they get those skills right next to tower, Serpent Ward's Healing Ward, easy tier 1. They'll get themselves back into the game, and Courier 2, why not?
And a plate mail.
With the plate mail.
Yeah.
So what, that's the Lotus build-up, I assume, for Toby? Pretty solid Lotus game versus Orchids and X and Shackles and Roar.
Charlie.
Celery is invis on Celery.
I was going to say, Charlie's farming a bit deep. He hasn't got the whole team around him here. He's only got the Chen. The rest of them are backed off, so...
Oh, there's a Sentry. Okay, so that's one way to scout out Charlie. Scout out for Charlie, that is. He will get the bounty. Aramis stun off the mark. Tried to max range it. And now they're bringing Supreme over. So with their Chen, yeah, they're very strong around this area. It will scare Viking away. Viking doesn't want to just run into all these clashes. They are playing man down for the majority of this game. It's the Naga Siren firing on the side. They do have to be a little cautious. Supreme. Ooh. Risky place to show himself there on the mid lane. Viking more than prepared for these pushes, though. They see it start to be kind of telegraphed. They bring all the spammers out to the mid lane. Grimstroke, Nyx, Puck all set up in the area while the Timbersaw deals with the opposing push on the other side with it. Trying to keep the catapult alive, Charlie. Start tanking the tower for a moment.
But they'll slow it down, though. High Coast push back. I mean, yeah, I think the Naga Siren definitely going to be a bit of a worry. Oh, they actually get the open onto Boom. Boom, he steps in. Is he going to be able to live, though? The Siren's in there into the route. Is he out? He's not.
Oh, the Centaur stun.
It was close, though. He nearly actually survived that jump. At the same time, down bottom, they get the setup onto Chessie. Might be able to find something in return. No, Chessie's able to turn, pop the roar. Chessie's going to live. The backup's inbound front. Supreme, he's got the Orchid good to go again. See if they got enough to burst through this timber. So they have the follow-up Hex. The controls there from Error. As Supreme picks the triple up from mid lane to bottom lane.
definitely tips Super. He is carrying the hell out of this game right now. 7-1-3. Every rotation he's done has been pretty much successful, and he always gets the right heroes. And again, right in front of a tower, Eric can just drop the wards. And this Supreme is, yeah, he ate his Wheaties as well this morning. It seems like he's really killing it.
It's popping up.
He's got a Yules already, so he's got no ways to deal with these times.
I mean, like, they do need to get objectives, but at the same time, as you say, you know, Storm, Jug, late game, they're going to be pretty strong, especially if the Storm's having such a good game as he is. You know, Supreme's doing fine. This guy's going to be ready to carry at any stage if he keeps up this level of performance. It's just going to get annoying, right? You don't really dealing with the illusions, the late game, the split push pressure. It's never fun. You never want to sign yourself up for that. So High Coast will of course be likely to just try and make sure that the game does not get to that point.
They still need to keep these aggressive moves and just keeping these constant nice pressure plays from the Storm Spirit going, because they're making all the right moves, but the fact that they're only 1k up is a big statement, right? This Naga Siren Shad is getting away with a lot, and he knows exactly what to go for this game. If you can get farmed, you'll get the Scotty, get Butterfly, get Heart, and if he gets to that point, it's going to be pretty much impossible if the Jug's not big enough. They still have to be careful on High. You cannot slow down the pace game. They still can't make these moves. They can just snowball out of control versus this. But they're in a good, comfortable spot.
I mean, you know, for High Coast, can they try and hunt the Naga Siren, or do you think that's going to be too hard to do? They just sort of have to focus on pushing and taking objectives to the point where Shad's, he kind of has to turn up and help the team.
I think they should just be playing their own game. Yeah, if they can, maybe once or twice they can catch Shad because they have Hawks and they have a good vision aspect, but Shad should be in a pretty defensive position where if they go for him, they're going to counter gank super hard for him. Boom. He's got his Witchblade, so he's got good damage as well with the Fairy Trinket. He doesn't have protection. We're seeing that being quite a big problem. The Storm Supreme is just focus firing this puck in every single one of these engagements. Now they have a Lotus, so now they will have a way to at least remove that silence. Toby does have that at the ready.
He's going to be throwing that down on Boom every time.
D-Ward's coming out from the Book 3. Toby trying to clean up that Book 3, but that gonna get a lot of his mana maybe taken away.
High Coast.
Aramis forced to stop, and yeah, they really want this mid tower, so they can start getting access maybe into the triangle.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This time around, they should be able to finish it. Says if they want to try and jump in for any kills or just let it be. Toby will get the deny. Thing taken away.
Now they can maybe start to try to get some more information around the triangle area. It's still very hard to invade and find Shad, but with that tower down, they have a little bit more access, a little bit more windows to sneak in there. Main target though, tier 2 bottom. Don't know if they'll make it in time though. For the outpost, at least 30 seconds. That'd be pretty impossible. Continuing to apply the pressure, trying to shrink the map versus Shad.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Ooh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
More D-wards. They're taking out pretty much all the vision of Viking with these books and with these wards to end the Hex. Toby?
I mean, they're going to try for him. The Dream Core's down, Phantom's Embrace down on the Jug. He gets the Omni Slash though, jumping down to the low ground, silencing on the Boom. They pull it back with the Vortex. Boom, he's taken out. As again, Supreme finds his target. Boom's going to come back in with the buyback, but Charlie chases down Celery, takes him out with a Maelstrom proc. Up on the high ground, Toby's still alive. Looking to try and turn things over towards High Coast. He's trying to have some of his mana taken away. Charlie, he needs out. Blade Fury's going to be up in a second, but they're in with the Impale. Hand of God comes out. Charlie's able to put the Blade Fury, but they've got the physical damage. They bring Charlie down. Toby trying to chase for more. He's on to Era. Chelsea popping the roar here to just hold Toby back. But they don't lose anything else here as they try and retreat. They get everyone else out of there. They're losing Charlie. But
It's the buyback.
It is indeed, yeah. 2 rounds of Boom having a go at that.
Structures are fortified.
It was a really good fight the way that they just held their ground too on the high ground for High Coast. As soon as Charlie splits away though, that's when Boom buys back, sees the opportunity to actually take him away when he's not grouped up with his team. And this fight mid still might happen. High Coast are pretty healthy on mana. 8 seconds for Charlie.
They'll lose the tower.
Shit off. And that is the first fight where Shad shows up.
Yeah.
That's that's before the Scotty. So now with Scotty, he's going to be a lot more threatening, and we're seeing his tank ability. He's going to be about at the 3,000 health mark when he finishes that. It's very hard for them to actually focus fire him at all.
It really does feel that the Naga Siren's progress is definitely going to be concerning for High Coast. The fact that Shad is where he is, you got to imagine, Viking, at least from their perspective, when they picked this hero, ended the draft with it, down 6-14, down 1k gold at 22 minutes. That feels like it's probably part of the plan, right? Then Vikings gonna be feeling that for them that this game's playing out how they want it to. Sure, it'd be great for them if they were smashing and dominating, but I don't think they would have expected that. This is at least the level of progress they expect.
Absolutely, and it is. Boom is expected to have maybe like less deaths as this puck, but it's a puck into Shadow Shaman. Sure, this hasn't been the Shadow Shaman who've gotten the hexes and stuff on him, but you're going to give up some deaths in this game. It's going to happen as the puck. You're going to be bound to get caught by something. As High Coast, they're committing forward here.
We got.
Wards are being cleared out. Illusions quickly clean them up. Coast backing away after they forced everybody back into the base.
And they did a fair bit of damage to the tier 3, but as soon as Shad turns up now, they have to back off completely. We will see Charlie trying to do his best to deal with the illusions, going full in on the Mjolnir after the Manta's done.
He has to be the one to fully address it, because Boom, he has some amounts of magic damage, but this Naga sign will become overwhelming very quickly for him to actually deal with. Even it's just crazy how easily he's able to deal with the summons and everything too. The Serpent Ward's dying 2 hits, not extra hits. The books, he kills him, who cares? Last Will kills one of his illusions, whatever. He gets 200 gold for it. It really feels like a very good solution. And High Coast, they're still trying to force the issue though. They don't want to give this Viking draft any more time. It feels like they do have to close it out pretty soon, or it's gonna get kind of scary for them.
You can definitely feel that as well. They're standing right outside the base of Viking, ready to go in again. Try and going on to Toby, but he's tanky. He's out to the side, can't quite commit with the roars. The Lotus Sword prevails. It's Supreme getting the jumping onto Shad. But Boom's turned up. Dreamcore's down onto the 2 of them. Charlie's going to snap it. Here's the healing ward out. It's going to be fine. Chesney trying to walk back, and he gets the roar onto the target. He's found Boom. Supreme will zip in for this to finish off the kill. They've got the lockdown, but the song's coming into play. Charlie trying to chase him with the Blade Fury, but can't quite finish off Aramis. Zips in, Supreme, he'll finish off the kill. Get Aramis, they're coming in with the slash, but it's onto the illusions. As Shad's able to make it away, but it might not matter. As they've found the 3 kills, they're onto the racks. They don't need to kill Shad here. They get pretty much everybody else. And that will allow them to take what they came for. 24 minutes, taking the racks down. High Coast plan, it's working out. This is exactly what they needed to achieve, and they're doing it.
Yeah, and it's like Viking, they were only slightly behind, but High Coast, they understand this point where they can actually persist forward. And Boom, he has no ways to protect himself. Still a ways away from the Yules. They used the Lotus initially to protect Toby himself, and that's when the window was seen. Chassis somehow gets the roar on the puck, and then Boom just gets killed by Supreme. Supreme 10-1-4, playing the game perfectly. And they got to keep it up. Now they have a side advantage. Nagasarn's still a looming threat, but they've solved a bit of that issue already.
Boom's now. Oh, sorry, Supreme's got the BKB. BKB in the back with the Greaves as well from Zibe. it's going to be very hard to kill this Storm, even if he does make these aggressive moves that he's been getting away with the whole game. Outside of the pit, they're trying to take down Chesty. They're moving on to him. Supreme, who's he going to find first? He's looking for the supports on the back lines, but already with Glimmer Cape and the Vendetta, the two of them are able to split away, but they've lost Boom. And now on to Toby. Toby's out of mana, and they've got the damage to take him down as High Coast get the two of them. Supreme stepping over towards Aramis as the roar comes out from Chesty. They lock down the Nyx Assassin. It's more kills for High Coast around the pit as they can take this Roche without any further interruptions from Viking. And they are keeping that pressure on exactly as they need to. It's 20-6. And they're going to be very much ready to start looking up the tier 2s and tier 3s barracks in another lane right now, as they've got everything required to take these objectives down.
Just such good focus fire by them, honestly, every single time. Boom is just getting owned. He's getting completely outplayed in every single one of these fights. 3-6-0. He just keeps getting caught by roars, by hexes, by everything. There's too many things that he has to deal with. And he's too far behind to protect himself. Celery shows himself with the stroke of fate and get him killed.
I mean, I guess this is the thing, you know, as popular as Puck is, it's definitely getting to a point where this hero shows up so much that teams are going to have pretty smart ideas as to how to play against it, right? And we're really seeing that here from High Coast as the Puck's just having no chance against what High Coast is bringing to Viking in this game one.
Supreme is by far my MVP this game. He's played this so damn well. Every gank has worked for him. All of his targets that he's gone for has died when he's made the jump initially too. It's just, yeah, really good understanding of who he has to target, who he has to focus fire on, and it's got them into such a good position now. This game is 12k gold lead. Second Rax is soon getting taken out here. Viking holding off decently for.
Charlie's going to be able to reset. He's got healing ward up in 15 seconds. Of course, this push is being done with the Aegis.
Yeah, I guess we didn't point that one out, but we did see this actually from mid one yesterday too, is the healing ward cooldown when you have this big push.
Yeah.
Just keep spamming your healing wards.
He's got a full axe as well after that Miona now.
He does. Yeah, absolutely. I actually was surprised he didn't pick up the shard, but doesn't feel like he needs it as they're mostly just playing around siege. And hey, they don't need to kill the Naga Siren if they're just taking out the buildings and killing everyone else.
I mean, that's really what's happening. You know, Charlie's just stepping up. He's hitting the tower. He's not too fussed about the other heroes. I mean, he'll jump in on them when they sees an opportunity and Chesty's able to find a roar. But other than that, he's happy to just walk up and continue to take down these objectives, and they'll get it. Tier 3's gone. And Viking just not able to do much at all in terms of pushing them back.
No, they can't take advantage of whenever Charlie's healing ward is down because, look, it's back up again. As soon as he does back up, it'll reset, and then they can go and start knocking again. They have to try to find the back lines or something as they're just gradually losing their base. The Viking need to find some type of sneaky approach here.
I mean, how do you start things as Viking? We're yet to really see them use the song to set anything up aggressively. Is it just too hard to do that? Do you just not have the best follow-up?
They don't have the best. They have okay with like Meteor Hammer on the Nyx, but it's not you doing the synergy with it, so it's a lot harder to time it perfectly. Puck Coil is a little weird, a little iffy to actually get it set up after it. It's not Enigma Black Hole. It's not Disrupting. It's not Ice Path. Much harder.
Well, they're in.
There's a jump.
They can look around on the back lines. He's out with the Glimmer Cave. Supreme coming in with the BKB. The slash is coming out, and the Omni Slash is taking down Toby. Charlie, he gets the kill. Toby has to buy back straight away. The ward's down. They're going to be able to clean up the range racks. Now High Coast trying to over towards the melee. The roar's out onto Aramis. Nyx Assassin down. They've got the Hex onto Shad. They're moving in. They've got the Shackles. They have any detection on the front line. Shad's able to get out with the Manta. Toby is trying to force them back, but they're going to turn their attention towards him. As they're zipping in, back over to Aramis. Shad having to use the song to keep his team safe. They've got the hammer set up, but the timing can't quite be there as Charlie, he's found the window to put the blade through. He moves over to Shad. Shad's out of the game for good. He's dead for 50. No buyback on him. As they'll buy back on Celery. They're trying to do their best to push them away, but the top racks have been taken out. 26-6, 21k lead here. As High Coast, they really did. They slammed their foot down on the pedal. They sped it up. And it always looked like they would have this chance with their sort of lineup. Like the draft looked strong, and High Coast, they're just playing to its strengths perfectly.
Yeah, they've executed actually just perfectly.
Yeah.
The support, again, I'm seeing so many clean games from some of these teams. As Charlie, the Lotus, will reflect some of the Swift.
I mean, he's in. They're ready to just start making these jumps again. Over towards Aramis. Aramis goes down. Look at the grab back onto Boom. Boom dead yet again. Toby as well being held back. They're going to call it. There's nothing they can do to turn this one around as GG is called. High Coast will take game one. And, I mean, they needed this High Coast. They've had a rough showing so far in the league. But what a game to start this series off with. If you're ever going to begin to turn things around, this is exactly how you need the beginning of a series to go.
I think that's the best game that I've seen them play as a team together. The way that they understood their draft, they got together, they knew.
Secret and Team Nigma, they have a shot of staying in the upper division, Purge.
Yeah, they'll be the first team to beat Secret. Yeah, I think that's possible. I mean, they could beat the other teams for sure. It's a possibility. And I think this is like the drama of the league system that will be approaching shortly. It's not like, surely it's very important about what team gets launched into like deep into the playoffs, but the teams that get removed from Division 1, they have to spend another season playing in Div 2, even if they were like on the verge of being good enough. So there could be some real big heartbreaks for some teams that we normally would never expect to leave Division 1.
Yeah.
If High Coast does really well, it's definitely a possibility.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if you're playing in Division 2 in the second season, like what do you play for? You're basically playing for the chance of being in a division after TI, correct?
Or in Division, you should go back to Division 1, right?
Yeah. I think the only thing that you might be playing for is kind of points to be part of maybe like there's one more qualifier, right? For TI, there's like one slot, I heard.
Yeah.
So there's like
probably
potentially, placement for that. I really don't know. But being Division 2 is very bad, especially if you're going from Div 1 down. Of course, any team's qualifying for Div 2. That's the start of your DPC journey. That's amazing. But a Div 1 team going down to Div 2, you can pretty much say goodbye to all majors, everything, and you're basically playing just for kind of to keep the spirits up, I guess, and looking for the next season.
Yep, keep the momentum going, or at least keep the practice going in officials. So which is still very valuable. It's just not where these teams want to be.
Yep.
We do have the openings. We got an Earth Spirit and a Enchantress coming out for High Coast first, and a Puck again on the side of Viking, this time paired up together with the Keeper of the Light.
So interesting enough, the teams swapped the pick order this time around. And this is where High Coast has to be first pick. They're kind of installing the same idea with their picks, a little bit different. They've got a nice little bit of team fight, and it's to push the lane secure this Enchantress. Viking, they've responded with the kind of big picture plan that High Coast has presented in Game 1 by covering themselves with this early Keeper Light push. It enables these offlaners to stand and prevent pushing occurring, and the hero naturally can set a high pace at a game that you can dismantle any early grouping because you're always playing at a much quicker pace.
We did see some issues with like the Caudal Puck as like a flexible opening early. What was the series today? The day before? If they both end up being support, your draft kind of sucks.
Yeah,
we played it. So it kind of makes the puck look less flexible, more obvious that it's probably a core, unless they think that they can get away with it.
I really feel for Viking that they probably would just put it mid, maybe into offlane, but still it's. We'll see from the next two bans. Of course, in the previous game that they did cover it quite nicely with these three bans. Obviously, it didn't really work out in the game, but
10 seconds.
These bans will be very telling of this flexibility. I hope, like Purge said, we don't see it in the support role because it's a lineup that you have to do really well in lanes and then start pushing out waves quickly, because if you play defensively, you can't make any moves, you have to wait, and that recipe alone allows for a high-paced lineup that High Coast might be able to draft.
Well, there's still some flexibility, right? The fact that, you know, you could put the puck mid, you could put it in the off lane, but definitely as a support, I would not like to see that, especially not the way that High Coast has been playing. They're putting that pressure.
5 seconds remaining.
They don't want to see. Blame them.
Yeah, their supports would do nothing to hear. That would be so rough. But yeah.
I will tell you something though. The Coddle, this will be the first Coddle that Viking plays in a DPC league. So they're trying out something new.
I'm sure they've scrimmed with it a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on how the drafts have gone thus far, other teams pick it, or maybe not that weird. I think the outban makes a lot of sense. They might have trouble pressuring the map with a hero like Coddle, so Coddle's more like a buy time, push out waves in dangerous lanes, so Alk doesn't care. He'll just continue to hit creeps on his side of the map. Banning out Troll as well. Buys maybe an offlaner that they want to master.
I think it's just the idea of Chessie's hero pool. He plays like Mars, Brewmaster, Beastmaster, these kind of less lane dominating heroes. Of course, the Beastmaster one of them, but the Troll does such a free lane. They go for the Brewmaster. We have seen it be run in position 5 before.
Yep.
So again, we can use the buzzword flexibility here for Viking, because 2 of their heroes are, you know, flexible. I don't mind it, but like I'm just worried that Viking are falling into the same kind of trap that they had in game 1. Well, they have these really nice heroes that like fit the meta, but how do they, what's their team alignment? You know, at what point do they group up together and start moving around the map that we see so many of these teams kind of moving towards this quick 5-man, and they're a little bit more kind of slow paced. They want to farm up, and of course you still have 2 more picks, and okay, they're doubling down on farming up and not crossing that river. Okay, it gives an opportunity for High Coast to try and outpace this quite a lot.
Again.
Yeah.
A little bit of the same strat indeed. As
can't just go Beastmaster.
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we have him in view here, but Beastmaster seems like it's just a very solid pick. I don't think you can really go wrong picking a Beastmaster ever. And Chessie is, as you said, is one of your comfortable.
The first pro player to be playing from a hot air balloon as well.
How do you know he's in a hot air balloon? Maybe he's just sitting on a watchtower overlooking the clouds.
Maybe he's in a
and the river. I think it's a river.
Yes, I would say it's a river. It's body water.
Yeah, it's not only the sky.
There we go. Predicting.
Dire team ban.
There's Beastmaster.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I think I don't have huge faith in Medusa just yet. She can win some games, but if she gets a little bit too pressured in her laning stage, she just feels a lot worse. So
there's a boat also.
It's true. His chair's really close to the edge, by the way. I hope he doesn't fall in himself.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's a river. Oh.
I like how we're not paying attention to Purge's analysis. We're just like, there's a boat. And just, we're all like, where's the boat?
No, but I do agree about the idea of not really liking the Medusa too much for Purge. That is for sure a standout point. Simply, you need to secure the map for the hero. You need to be able to kind of fortify your position. And they have nice wave clear, sure, but I don't see them standing still and enjoying the game when you have this jug running at you, edge creeps running at you. They have good, cheap wave clear, but not kind of like area securers, if that.
Yeah, we got frowns coming out from Celery before we saw Era as well. Thinking this one through. They ban out the Morphling. We are looking for most likely a Supreme hero. Yes, we have seen Supreme play Morph before, but personally, I wouldn't mind seeing his Storm again. I liked that one. He set a high tempo, and I think all of the 4 heroes that they already have can again follow in line and continue that high tempo for his team.
There's not much lockdown really coming out from the side of Vikings, so Storm looks really good here. Or you could go with something like Void Spirit if you wanted to as well. That's a possibility.
Yeah, I like the idea of an Invoker personally. You have that option for the Quaswex for the Medusa. You can then get the Solar Crest, the Alacrity to get yourself some more push that you might want on a High Coast lineup. And yeah, just set a real nice pace to the game.
Dire team pick.
I like the Phoenix ban there.
Yeah,
That would have
get
made
a ban
the team
Invoker.
quite too overwhelmingly good, especially because Medusa can just stand by the egg and protect it almost for sure, especially against Jug. So
The Invoker is indeed.
Yeah, this is like most likely a position 4 for Viking that they need. Of course, High Coast they have to pick first. So mid laners that are available, or like any of the spirits, like we already just mentioned, would be pretty good for setting a pace to the game. Just someone who can confidently run into the jungle and provide some damage to contest stacks, to enable the Jug to farm up for, you know, a couple minutes. Then suddenly you're really pushing the kind of the end of the game, utilizing your Necro Book, the kind of the pressure that this draft once again applies.
Radiant team pick.
Void Spirit, nice.
Void Spirit it is. We saw Banned out in the previous game, so this time around though.
you know, the fact that they banned all these like aggressive heroes in the second phase on Viking made their Medusa. I assume they're protecting it in anticipation of this. So probably have some I don't know, maybe some mega stacking type stuff that they're planning to do here with the Caudal, but
I hope so.
we'll see how it works out. High Coast might set too much.
Even with the stacking from Viking, it's a very small window in which they can farm it, because you would assume that an Enchant and Earth Spirit, very natural kind of roamers on the map, should be able to scout that out. Again, like we're making it sound pretty doom and gloom for Viking. If they pick up a strong wave clearing hero that can just play on the tier 3s, I think Viking have to accept that tier 1 and tier 2s are kind of free game. But if they can defend that high ground, Medusa will eventually, 1v9 this game. To get the Aegis, get a Rapier, this game is very good for them.
So similar to the first game with the Naga. Like, if they can get past this point,
sure,
then...
yeah. And that's kind of like the way that Viking likes to sometimes play these games, and they're going to try and break down High Coast. I think they're trying to basically say that they're the better team strategically, and they think they have the confidence that they can get to that point. It didn't work in game 1. You should assume that they've learned why, and that's why they're still sticking to their guns for strategy, because they believe in themselves. Do I think it'll work?
Purge, do you think it will work?
I definitely trust their draft less. They don't really have conventional 4 heroes. Like, their team fights are really good and better than High Coast, but their skirmish and gank stuff is definitely weak. So if High Coast can play like they did last game with the really good counter rotations from Supreme on the mid hero, then I think High Coast should dominate once.
All right, thank you very much. Moxie, are you on board with this? Because I know you want to see Viking take the series.
I would love to see a game 3. It's looking a little bit rough, though. I'm worried about some of the damage output coming out like early on.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of it's just on the back of that Medusa. And as we saw earlier with the Naga, if High Coast gets that momentum going, I'm just, you know what? I'm going to say that I have faith in them. They've learned from their mistakes in the first game, and they're going to make good rotations. They've got anti-push. Let's go. All right.
T, for Viking, I want to hear what they like. Do they have to hit a certain timing? Is there anything in particular that all the fans at home can look at? It's like, okay, if Viking does this, they got a good shot here.
Make sure they go even in lanes,
Yep.
keep the lanes pushed out, and have really good vision to ensure that supports tank the rotations into the jungle so Medusa can farm and then retreat away. There will be aggression coming. You need to be ready for it, and the right heroes need to die so it isn't your cores who are dying to these rotations and the map feels small.
Watch out for the tactical feed is what you're saying.
Exactly.
All right, that's what I heard indeed. Let's find out if they can force this series to a third game, or perhaps High Coast is going to run away with this one. Let's find out together with Odie Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Chief. Yeah, Fogged, an interesting decision here from Viking. Again, trying to go with that old late game carry. Are they going to get away with it this time, or do you think this could be another tough game for them against High Coast?
It's very similar to the last one. I feel like it's going to be tough for them again. It's almost the same exact draft, the same 3 cores at least from High Coast. And instead of having a Chen, they have an Enchantress, so a little bit less healing, a little bit less to be able to force the issue as much. But then they have now Era also on a Earth Spirit, which is a good pressuring hero. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn just because I've been seeing a lot of these passive style drafts just do nothing and just inevitably lose the game, because it doesn't matter how big the Medusa can get, they just can't. The game just doesn't allow them to. They get ran at the entire game, and they're always just avoiding fights. I feel like we might get to the same point too. They're going for this 5-position Brewmaster. It's very greedy.
It just sort of feels that, Medusa as a hero, it's just so hard to execute, right? The most recent show we saw, the other day, Nigma tried it, and it just didn't look great.
No, it's a lot of games now where I'm seeing these extremely super carries, super hard carries that don't do literally anything. 30 minutes, your anti-mages, You're Naga Siren, now you're Dusa. These heroes just don't get to the point where they can actually play Dota. So they're playing 4v5 for the most of the game. And they can't win the 4v5 fights. They're trying to match the movements, but they can't match the movements because they're man down. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they're able to do it because they do at least have Coddle, which I feel adds a lot of power for the Dusa because you're this very slow, immobile hero. Coddle can move you around, make your farm a lot faster, and make you a big beast with double Mystic Snake and just storing your mana and all that. So I have some slight hopes for Viking, but the way High Coast played last game, and they have the same 3 cores, you'd have to expect to run back if they feel that comfortable.
They knew exactly what they were doing in game 1, High Coast. And
yep.
Definitely, definite eyes on Boom as well this game. Just to have a stronger time. Last game, he really struggled on the puck. It was not a great game from Boom.
No, he was completely focus fired. So that also is a good point as well. So we're really lacking him in the last game. That maybe that'll be the difference maker to allow this Medusa to get the space and farm if Boom isn't just owned by an Orchid. This game, there won't be that Orchid. There's going to be an Earth Spirit Silence he has to play around, but there won't be a 12-minute Orchid.
As well, if Toby can have a bit of a better time this time round on the Pango. As we saw on the KDA last time, the performance was also rolled over here by High Coast.
Yeah, it should be the same thing for a Shad, where he's getting the full free farm in this bottom lane, just like that Naga Siren. So he will at least have the opportunity to be able to, but it's just, will they actually be able to make him be able to be a driving force? At least Medusa can fight. That's the one thing I'm looking at. Naga Siren literally you don't fight. Medusa, you get like your 1 or 2 items. You can actually play around your Dream Coils. You can get recalled then. So there is that possibility. And they do have Coddle for stacks. That's the other thing too, is Medusa can actually clear stacks. Naga Siren can't clear them at that speed at all. Be that accelerator.
If Aramis is able to enable Shad's sort of farm movements and stuff, as you say, just setting up the map for him, then this Coddle can definitely make work. We've seen it so many times that a good keeper of the light player just makes the game so easy to play for his carries.
You're just able to do, honestly, Coddle feels like one of the most busted heroes. You're able to just do so much. You don't have disables, but you're just recalling people left and right. You're refreshing your recall. Your recall is so fast too, so you usually end up with the advantageous numbers in a lot of situations. So that could be the big difference. Coddle back. Seeing mid Boom. Pressure Supreme a lot. Supreme still no bottle. Has to be careful of the double nukes that are coming out.
It's about a creep away from having it on its way out. Said Boom. Step
Got
ahead.
it already.
Top, I mean, Charlie farming fine. Toby a little behind. Aramis trying to do his best to keep Charlie on his toes. Constantly blasting him. Sure that he's having to use the Blade Fury defensively, so there's not the best amount of kill potential from High Coast in that safe lane for now.
Zibe, if they can get a proc, ooh, no luck for Toby. Perhaps they could have gotten there. The Enchantress can go down here, but I feel like none of the other heroes should die. Unless they really misplay, especially Toby if he just swashbuckles too aggressively, which could happen.
Go for it, though. He had the Blade Fury, Charlie, but not wanting to try and turn, was very low on the HP. Buckle.
Bottom, Chessie's not doing... I actually thought Chessie was going to get a bit more out of this one. He has a lot of denies, 10 denies, but only the 9 last hits down here. I guess the pulling of the wave and the messing with the creep manipulation and all that has actually slipped him up a little bit on last hit. Because he's got a good base damage. That's the thing is Deuce, he has to get Wraith Bands to match your base damage. See, struggling a bit. Runes.
They're going to try for Toby here. He just used the swashbuckling aggressively. And they're going to have him.
They got him.
They're going to have him. He's got to be careful up here. I mean, he obviously felt that he was careful enough because he went for the swashbuckle in a way that, you know, he was only sort of catching them from the very edge of it. But Zibe able to step in, get that slow off, and easily allow Charlie to just close the gap and get the kill.
Bit of a misplay, bit of a slip up. If he had Aramis there, maybe a Chakras allows him to get the swashbuckle again off because the refresh. But yeah, he's not there. He did a slight mistake there from Toby, punished.
Be careful. I mean, for now, Charlie, low on the mana. any sort of mangoes or anything out. No, nothing on its way, so not be any threat of a Blade Fury for a little bit.
Shibe's got one. He can feed it if
Oh,
he sees an opportunity. So. And he'll start the stacks. The Enchantress will do what looks like, what, is that the first stack of the game? It is. We actually have not seen any stacks yet from Aramis. And the opportunity to back up and go. Celery.
Chesty from to that.
They are suffering up top now. Jibe, he's found himself a big creep. He's got the best one, Satyr Tormentor now. Toby, level 3, and the Jug is getting given full experience. I'm seeing Jibe just staying away from the lane. Now even looking for Toby. He's slowed up, so the Swashbuckle won't get him.
They're going to be able to find him. This, as you said, this top lane, it's just not really achieving too much now on the side of Viking. It feels like it's just hard to play into now. Going up here, it's turning into a bit of a death trap. The levels are there for Charlie. He's about to have the level 6 as well, so they've had great kill potential so far. It's only going to get better. Yeah, the tip's coming out as well as Charlie feeling confident up there with the way they've been able to take him down twice.
Now he's a self-sufficient safe laner. He can just be left alone as a Jug, and they can make moves around with the supports. We see immediately mid. They tried to collapse with 3. Won't quite get the kill, but they force a defensive coil. And yeah, we're going to watch what Jibe looks to do with his freedom now. He's right now he's taking the opposing triangle from the enemy team. So he's checking out to see if there's stacks, getting a nice aggressive ward down 2 to watch any puck rotations or if there were stacks. And then he can swing back over naturally to go for a gank play. He still has a Centaur.
Charlie is starting to take a tower hits that. Step back south. Charlie's going to be fine.
Clarity now up on Charlie, and they still have the catapult, so they can continue to apply some pressure here. Centaur creep will eventually go down here. Yeah, they're getting some damage on the tower, which is not your usual that you see happen anymore.
I mean, where are the stacks, sir? When are we going to start seeing some stacking coming out from Viking?
I don't know, but I really want to see him, Aramis, get on that point soon. I like that. It's good that he's staying top, though, because it is his catapult wave. He has to stop this push. Okay. They don't want to lose an early tower around their triangle either. So at least he can hold that up, but he has to get the start back. Bottom boom.
I meant to jump into the chest. I actually get the Dream Core to catch down Void Spirit as well, but Era's in with the backup. He's going to be able to jump out of the way of that Illuminate. He'll be okay. Kaboom chase another. Try for Era. The roll still on cooldown. They'll be able to pick up the 2 of them. So Viking, they swing in with the 4 of them down bottom. And they'll get the couple of kills. The big one as well. Taking Chessie out of the lane continues to slow down his game as he was already having a tough time down it.
And Boom this time is the one with the very fortunate rotation, the counter rotation, catching the Void Spirit in the coil so they can't actually get too aggressive. I like that Aramis, he actually decides to port bottom, so that means, hey, no stacks, but at least he can refresh and give the puck extra damage. And I'm seeing the top, Charlie and Jibe are actually going to get this tower, it seems. They're really persisting forward on it.
Damn, with Aramis making that move down bottom, he's not around this time to help de-push it. As
this is
8 minutes here on tower taken away. I mean, I feel like this is just gonna make it that much easier, right, for High Coast to contest and get in onto this triangle without the threat of TPs coming in from all angles.
100%, yeah. I swear we could go to a lot of game stats right now, and we would see that top tower is like never it just doesn't happen anymore. So that's pretty huge for High Coast to actually be able to eliminate that. It is kind of like the most worthless tier 1 because your mid and your bottom are just much more important in that aspect. But the fact that they're going to have this window to be able to sneak around and wrap around onto the mid lane too is pretty huge. This used to be something that back when I played, back in my day, we take this tower so that you could invade and take over the mid lane. So that's going to give them a lot of windows to surround and get on top of. Yeah, Shad, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to just get to back up and just farm what he would hope he would be stacks, because he has no stacks. His triangle's now going to be a little bit tougher, and there's vision aspects he has to worry about. The Hawk will always be scouting out his jungle. So yeah, it could be a little bit hard for Viking to get. Charlie's off to a phenomenal start again.
Very good timing, and And as we saw last game what High Coast were able to achieve when they hit their timings early on and when they start to group up and go. So far, every reason to believe that they're going to be able to start playing in that exact same manner this time around once again.
Yeah, now Charlie has like a natural move where either he can go farm jungle or he TP's bottom. It doesn't feel bad for him at all because of this top lane situation. Toby will be thankful as he is going to be able to get some experience at that level 6. But yeah, World is your oyster now on High Coast. You get to pick and choose around the map what you want to do with your carry, and you can actually pressure the Medusa. While Medusa can't ever pressure Jug. Very opposite. See what Charlie looks to do with his next moves as he still has Omni at the ready, and he's going to have his Javelin picked up. Jib is just farming the triangle with a regular melee creep. Right? He's chilling.
And bottom, Supreme and Chessie. Be able to make the jump in onto Celery.
Boom.
He's able to do it. Charlie.
He's here now, though.
I mean, he's in onto Shad, and he's going to get a pretty good, few slashes off there with the Omni Slash. Only a couple of bounces off the target. Everything else on top of him. Shad's gone. Just continues to be just perfect play from Charlie. Making the move at as good a time as any. Coming down here and now putting the pressure onto the tower.
And they have Jug versus Coddle, a counter pick matchup in the past where you just plop Healing Ward, counteracts any of the Illuminate D push. Versus a Medusa lineup, 2 tier 1s taken pre-10 minutes. Viking trying to punch back and at least get some damage onto these opposing side lanes, but it's already the creeps are being pulled and bottom tower's dead.
Yeah.
Now they can look to invade. And Shad's jungle is not safe. His triangle is warded too. This is not looking too easy for Viking.
And he doesn't have no stacks. There's no stacks.
He has no stacks at all.
No stacks this game. I don't think there's been literally a single stack when we bring up that
There
thing.
you go. There's going to be one.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. there was the one I think that might have just been on a small camp though, but at least some progress being made here around the Ancients now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
All right, so it's a passive game is going to have to be there for Viking as top tower. They do start to take this out here, and High Coast doesn't look to actually set up to defend it right now at the moment. Actually, they're bringing Void Spirit, leaving the... Okay, they left the availability open for the tower TP, but they don't try to actually... I guess Chessie just summoned his book bottom, and he's probably the only one who can go. And without book, it's not really useful up there. But
Toby, they're on Toby. They're dragging back with the Remnant into the silence, and the burst of the Astral Step will do it.
Very nice.
You fought well for a roll.
Boom pump punch back though. There is both Astral Steps used, but he's not even going to attempt for it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good old items here as well. High Coast, they left the Fairy's Trinket ready for Supreme.
Lovely, lovely. And that's Maelstrom done. So Charlie, he has his steroid finished nice and early on. Shad still a bit away from the Yasha. We'll start to work on at least the one Ancient Stack that he made himself. He is being watched the entire time though. That invasive ward that Zippy was early on. They're completely aware of this. Up to High Coast, how they want to maximize versus. It looks like it's just a little bit of farm downtime.
I mean, yeah, there's the wards from High Coast. The map's super safe.
Yeah.
All up and down this whole area. It's pretty much impossible for Viking to make any sort of move. And as you say, High Coast able to have very good information on the progression of Viking's cause, thanks.
Definitely going to look to invade, probably more though on High Coast in the next moments. When Chessie it does get back onto the map, I think they should go to siege probably this mid tower. Maybe start just forcing in bottom and then just get a good wraparound in order to try to take this one out because it's still full health mid tower. It's very nice for Viking as it does protect that triangle a bit. And they have put down 2 wards to protect the triangle too. Sure, they lost that top tower, but they'll have
Well, you would say that the different thing this time round... Oh, error.
Lee?
He's got eyes on Toby. I mean, if Toby comes out, Error might have the opening here from Invis. So, yeah, Toby playing it smart. Safe under the tower. Find him. Start swinging around towards the mid.
He's giving good information just from this. And it's a little bit different this game because they don't have the Chen. You know, Chen is a really big enabler of just really forcing the issue of taking these towers. That's why you see them, they're a little bit slower this time around, backing up, waiting for these next few items. The Beastmaster is not very farmed this game, so it's not like he has a very early book 3. So they kind of have to wait a little bit of time before they really kick up the hard invasion. Which is, I mean, positive for Viking. Shad getting all this time to farm. They're not losing their puck this time. Boom.
They're not.
He's having a much better game.
Yeah, I mean, definitely life is made a little easier where there's not a shaman hunting him down every single time.
They're trying to force this mid tower, but Aramis is just blasting it all the way back so that it makes it so much harder for them to ever do any aggressive plays here. He's constantly pushing in those lanes. His bottom.
Era.
Oh my
He's
god.
actually able to make it away there. Not quite able to turn and get the angle to put a stop to his escape.
Okay.
I'm going to have Viking
Now
come out straight away with the smoke. They know there's no roar.
Shad for a second here.
Try and make the jump. Yeah, Charlie can't quite close the gap to get the Omni Slash off him. For the better that he didn't, as Viking are right behind Shad with the smoke. Charlie's going to go for the rune. It's a bit of a bait, though. They're waiting. Is he going to be able to get out of this? He is. The opportunity's there to Blade Fury right out. Celery's committed with the split, but you're right. Dream Coil and split down the drain.
I think he just walk away. I think he just laughed themselves to the bank. High Coast, 2 ults expended. Nothing, just push. Chessie force down bottom. Enchanters continue pushing up top lane. Charlie continue farming. Now you have no threat for Supreme. Supreme can play a little bit more aggressive for the next few moments without those two up. Coming up.
Yeah, just not having enough to stop that spin right now. I mean, they really don't. What is there? There's the silence of the puck. That's pretty much it. Every other time, there's easily going to be a window for Charlie to get his way out.
Yeah, they have to have Toby there perfectly for the silence, the coil, the rolling thunder bouncing him back and forth. That's it. They don't really have control in their draft besides ultimate.
Chad's farm still there at the top, but saw that last game. Did not matter. Definitely sort of similar this time round, but I mean, you would still say that when Shad does turn up this game, he's going to be able to have a bit more impact as a Deucer compared to the Naga Siren last game?
Yeah, absolutely. Aramis actually ends up surviving Supreme. He double committed. The coil's back up.
Baited in a little bit there.
Shad should be able to do much more. I just Medusa overall as a hero actually does stuff. Naga Siren is you're just right clicks and you hope for Riptide plucks and it's all just based off your items. Medusa, your abilities actually do something. Stonegate's very impactful inside of those team fights. For it. And you're not single target. You know, you hit everybody, thankfully. You're Naga Siren who's just focused firing one person. Boom. We'll be able to step away. Decent chunk of damage on that mid tower too.
Error. He steps out into this. Ooh, actually able to roll away there. Nearly looked like he was going to get knocked back into a position where someone would be able to block his escape.
The hell? The blinding light just like pushed him, but pushed him through his I don't know what just happened, doesn't it?
Well, what do you mean?
Book 3 online. It looked like it pushed him away from the boulder, but somehow he like appeared on it anyway. I don't know, it's weird. Chessie has the book 3. They're going for the surround. The coil is down. Advantage of it for 10 seconds. The ward is spotting Chessie though, so they know this entire wraparound is happening. Coil's back online now.
I mean, it's a lot of damage on Charlie. Charlie.
Healing Ward's dead.
Chessie. He finds the roar on the Toby. They've got enough damage to take him out. The jump over the burst, they'll be able to get him. Shad pots the Stone Gaze. Dream Coil only down onto the Void Spirit.
Fine.
As he is into the silence.
Oh, is he?
But he's got the Yule Supreme. He's going to be able to jump straight back out. Down to the low ground and he's away. Boom's trying to chase him. But with the Dissimulate, Supreme will manage to keep himself safe. Over to the side, Celery continues to chase down Chessie. They'll find the trade. Both off laners going down. Error.
Ship it.
Might get Aramis here. He's got the ult down. He should have the damage. So Error will be able to pick up a second. Oh, Celery's coming over. Supreme's going to have that final bit of damage to secure the kill. As Boom does take down Jibe. The fight's not over yet, though, from High Coast with the Omni Slash. Comes in from Charlie. cuts down the Brew. Silence out onto Eris. They're cleaning up here. Eris taken out by Boom. Charlie as well. Blade Fury's back and available, so he will manage to roll away. Viking's going to keep chasing. Let me see if they can close the gap on this, but Charlie's out to the side. But a nice little cleanup there from Boom. 3 kills for the puck this time round. High Coast will get some action themselves. But Viking definitely coming in with the bigger hit so far. The fight
Shad
might not be over yet, though. Shad, he's up on the high ground. He's losing his mana to these Necro books. He'll get a bit of a burst of it back from Aramis. Toby rolling in. But they're coming in with the respawns. Vikings got to be very cautious as they try their best to disengage into the river. They've got the silence set him onto Boom, but with the illusion, Boom's able to remove it. Turns Dreamcore down onto Era and Supreme. As Era, he'll fall. It's another kill for Viking.
We're seeing a just leaps and bound difference from the puck this game. Boom is not controlled. He's able to get all of his spell arsenal off. I think that last fight he got 5 orbs, 5 silences off, multiple different stuff with the Witchblade. They got so many different abilities off. Even Shad I think got 4 or 5 Mystic Snakes off while they're chasing, and we're seeing a much better defensive aspect from Viking this time. This time, High Coast without the Chen, they can't brute force the towers. They can't brute force the fights as hard. Tower barely taking any damage, actually.
Super close game, and Shad keeping a step ahead here.
Definitely feeling the power of the Medusa kick much quicker. And yeah, definitely just a big difference though for Boom. He's not dying at the start of the fights. He's getting so many spells off. He's actually an impactful mid rather than just it really felt like last game he was a support puck with how much he was just getting killed after one spell was casted. Now he's actually a hell of a lot more.
See the all-important item that's going to make a difference for Boom's players is going to be that Ags on Supreme, and he's got it done. He's still he's quite a way away from it.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, if he had it done, then it'd be very rough for Boom.
Charlie,
they're in onto him. And also the chasers, they're going to try and continue to get on top of him. Another swashbuckles in. Charlie is able to turn with the Omni Slash, but there's 4 of them here. They tank it up, they take him out. Charlie down and out, and as we saw there as well, losing his courier. He pretty much had the Manta, but that's going to be the ultimate orb out of the game for the next 2 minutes.
That's huge, actually. Yeah, he's not going to have the ways to remove the silence, be able to play around any of that at all. It's going to give a lot of opportunity for Viking to just keep playing aggressive and fast.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're able to make aggressive moves is definitely a bit of a concern for High Coast. The team with Medusa is able to actually punch back and make their own individual plays. Definitely not a good sign. They really need to just get a couple things going better and just protect Charlie better. But I think you're right. The next big thing really is going to be around that Ags Void Spirit. It feels too difficult for him to address everything. They have 1 silence for the Earth Spirit. They have 1 roar from the Beastmaster, but there's a Brew Split. There's a Puck running rampant in the fight. The Rolling Thunder, too. Fights are quite complicated for them to actually CC and control these guys before they... And then Shad just chills. Shad's just chilling in the back as Medusa.
Oh, looking very good. Scotty.
Toby.
Into the butterflies with the plant. Yeah, he's going to roll his way out of this. This is... Nothing's going on up here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
And as soon as he TPs the base, we have the recall come in, so he's back on the map immediately. They're going to smoke and look for themselves, perhaps play. He's actually just going to be the one to show himself and push out the wave bottom instead.
Void within.
Chad definitely getting to this position where it's really hard to see how he's actually going to die in these team fights. The most of their damage is this Omni Slash, and unless Shad's standing in some position where he's a mile away from anything else, it's unlikely they're going to be able to really focus down this Medusa. Shad's really starting to approach this early game unkillable territory.
It really does feel like they're going to be very lacking of the damage, especially on top of the Greaves that Toby has, and you're going to have to always count in the fact that Aramis is going to be shockering this Medusa, so a secondary Mystic Snake plus all that mana refill. This is not a good place. This is not the place where High Coast wants to be at all. This Medusa is way too big. And this is not where their draft wants to be, the positioning of it. They want to be way more ahead.
No, not
The
yet.
fact that it's even at all is always just a bad sign for this Jug Beastman.
And the fact that, you know, they did take what the 2 side tier ones pretty quickly this game, but mid tier 1 still stands. Viking with that have been able to maintain enough control of their half of the map. That, yeah, Shad's getting all the space. Pressure is really on for High Coast. They don't come in with a big sort of move in the next 5 minutes or so. It does feel that this game is going to fall into the territory where Shad is just going to reign supreme here.
Oh, that's confusing though. You just said it. I just heard I was like, Shad is Supreme? What the hell? But yeah, Medusa will definitely take control of this game. There's the Axe. Okay.
All right, they've got to do something with this. They've got to go.
Yeah. Kick up the tempo. Kick up the
but they lost Chesney.
Oh no.
This is not how they wanted to start it. It'll pop the roar. So it's not going to be enough to bring down Celery in return. As it really hurts. Any sort of little loss like that around this timing where High Coast have really got to get something done.
And they're trying to go for the invasion play. They're trying to look for this Medusa because they see him split up, but Chad, more than aware. You can't lose Chesty like that. This is their window. This is their big window. The Ag's timing on the Void Spirit to actually address and silence the Brewmaster, silence the Puck. You can actually control him a little bit better. And now you just need to wait. So it gives the Medusa time to farm, a little bit more time to farm for everything. Same thing for the rest of the team side of Viking. Really costly death.
One up top.
He's found.
All right, they'll find the Keeper of the Light. The rest of High Coast are coming in though. Boom. He's going to drop the coil down onto Era. He's going to look to try and take out the Earth Spirit. Is there anything Era could do to get out of this? He's out with the roll. But boom. He's chasing. Nice little block off as well. Era's kind of tanky with the Cloak and the Ogre Club, but not nearly tanky enough. Toby takes him down. Again, High Coast just losing members. And they need the full 5 really to get something done. Every time they lose just one hero, even if it is a 1-for-1 trade, really hurts the pace that High Coast need to be playing with against this Deucer. As every passing minute where Viking don't lose an objective is definitely going to be a minute that Viking's happy to live through.
Couldn't say it better myself. Charlie will at least get the bottom tower, but yeah, you feel that looming threat as Jibe. He walks in and gives Boom a kill. 5-0-6 on the Puck, involved in every single one of the kills for his team. Charlie's spin is actually still on cooldown.
The TP.
Now the TP.
Yeah.
Apologies. The TP, yeah. But now it's up. Be able to back away. That was a little...
well, that was a little close. I mean, Dream Coil was about to come up as well. But he gets away. Viking, they're into the pit. And with only 4 members up, as I say, it's very hard for Viking to do something unless they... High Coast to do something unless they want to try and go for the steal.
Nice wrap. Look at Charlie's positioning. He's wrapping completely around getting the high ground.
This has been catched by surprise. They're grouped up here. It's going to be a big Omni Slasher. They take out Celery. They take out Toby. They were not ready at all for Charlie to come in from that angle. As he's losing mana, he's losing life. Toby's trying to come in, but Shad's already taken down. They were not ready one bit for Charlie to come in like that. As Toby's crashing in with a Rolling Thunder, maybe they can still turn it back in their favor. Dream Coil's down. Charlie, Blade Fury's back up. He's away. They surround Toby. Toby, he's getting low. Celery and Boone trying to do their best to keep Toby alive here, but they cannot do so. Toby will fall. Glimmercape keeping Zibe alive as he's out to the side. Silence into the Remnant. They've grabbed Boom. Can they finish him off into the silence again from the Resonant Pulse?
Oh my God.
They take down Boom. Zibe still alive. Celery couldn't quite find him. They're on top of him. As it's going to be a dieback from Toby, a dieback from Celery. And that all started with really Charlie just being able to walk around from the high ground and just start things off with a very grouped up Omni Slash.
He just it's everything of how he does it. He just walks up because he knows he's this confident jug with a Manta, so he can't get silenced or comboed. He gets perfect vision of the fight, and they stacked so hard. 3-man silence from Void Spirit into 3-man Omni perfectly. Shad's isolated. Could not have done it more perfect there, High Coast.
I mean, that's a huge shakeup from Viking. Viking, you know, they're going to be feeling the 6K difference now. And now, after Viking work, I see Shad. They might actually just get Chessie here. Chessie leading with the Raw. Supreme jumping in with the extra bit of control. I mean, can they actually take down Shad, though? He's still quite the beast to deal with. They need the jug. Without Charlie, this is never really a kill. So Shad,
they need the jug, or they need just him controlled with the book hitting him and burning his mana as well. There is an invis though, and there's still an arcane rune on Supreme.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get in. Silence on a Boom into the Remnant. They've jumped the puck. Boom's over the side. They've got him.
They got him again.
And he buys back here. Boom really wanting to try and hit back. He jumps in. He's looking for Rera. He gets the Dream Coil down onto the two of them as they're rolling up. But again, the silence from the pulse. Putting a stop to Toby's attempted initiation with the Rolling Thunder. Toby's still trying to chase, but Supreme has still got steps to go. He's away. He's out of there. So again, it's another buyback coming out from Viking. I mean, they've used pretty much 3 buybacks here in the last minute or so. And that buyback from Boom, I mean, it sends High Coast back, but not quite able to catch anyone. High Coast get everybody else out of their level. See this wrap around. They just weren't ready for this one bit. Supreme and Charlie jumping in and just destroying these heroes to start the fight off.
Could not have asked for a better one there, though. We did see Viking start to punch back. It was Shad kind of leading the charge there, the strong tanky Dusa. But another buyback, you know, Boom, another one used, and what? That's 3, I believe.
3 buybacks, yeah.
So the Puck, the Brew, and the Pango for the next few fights. Very concerning if they do get taken out. And Boom has to be more careful now. He went greedy. We didn't get to touch on this too much, but he went for Aether Lens this game rather than going for Euls to protect himself.
Wait, what?
These silences are making him have big problems in the last 2 fights after he picked up Aether Lens.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, because you see sort of the blink after the Witch's Blade, that's already like, oh, okay. I mean, you know, so that's standard. We're seeing Pucks play like this, and he feels that. Well, that's just even if he gets hit by the silence, he's taking damage still from the pulse, so it's not like you're going to be able to blink out whilst you're silenced, because you've been hit. You've taken a blow to yourself. And as you say, the choice to try and go into the Aether Lens to get this Octarine done, it's ever so risky. I mean, and it's not like he has a support to bail him out, and there's no items to do so either. There's a 4-staff. That's sort of as good as it gets from Aramis. But other than that, yeah, he's a huge liability in these fights if Supreme can find him. And there's another Arcane Rune on Supreme for the next fight, so he's going to have to deal with so many silences just coming out left, right, and center if they don't kill Supreme.
Yeah, I'm really curious to why he went that, because they're playing with the 4 protect 1, right? So why do you not just go for the safer plays where you can just protect your mid? But hey, it might hurt him quite a lot, as we did see it just pay. You know, he paid with his life twice there in the last situations. And he's getting scanned. They're chasing at him.
I mean, if they catch him here, Error. He's in. Oh, Boom. He's off to the side. He's got the orb out. He's having to use the coil there to hold the two of them back. But the silence from Error, they catch him. They found the opening. They're in on him. He's got nothing to remove it, nothing to get out. He's dead for 100 seconds, Fogged. I think this iron build, it's really shot. He's shot himself in the foot.
I think so, too.
After having such a good opening.
Snowballing. I think he felt the snowball when they were on the Roche, and he just bought it thinking that, oh my god, we're in a great place with Dusa. There's no way they'd kill him. There's no way that they'd kill me either, because I'm just rallied around Dusa the whole time. This is giving a full window to High Coast to just win. 80 seconds. How the hell do you fight without your puck now?
You don't. It's a free Roche. It's a free Roche here for High Coast. You've got no other ways of getting in the pit.
Look at Charlie. Like, a full Scotty now picked up, too. Getting ready for the Shard. He's going to have Aegis as well. Uh-oh. I don't know if Medusa's going to be able to do this one on her own. She's still very large with this Butterfly going for this Daedalus build, but she's quite alone now. This puck getting caught twice now has just ruined his game completely. Chessie on the hunt for Aramis.
Yeah, he might just find him. He does. He's able to catch him with the raw. TPs are coming in, but Aramis is already down. Chessie.
And Chessie's out.
Instantly away with the TP. Quick moves there from Chessie.
And now they're just waiting. Someone's showing.
Whoa, they've got the catch. Supreme's in, set up onto Toby. They're starting to fall apart. I mean, in this game as well, it really just seemed that, sort of about 5 or so minutes ago, the Viking, they were being able to hold it off. You saw, they were keeping this game in a great place for Shad. Shap was incredibly farmed, but now sort of the supporting cast, everyone around him, it's just getting dismantled by High Coast. Some decisions being made from Viking that are heavily hurting them as High Coast. This whole game's just back on track for them to hit the timings and start to push the advantage. As they've got quite an advantage here. 12k lead, and Charlie just massive.
Yeah, he's actually able to now very much so threaten the Medusa. Medusa, she's been at the 2100 HP threshold for quite a long time now after the Scotty was finished.
Yeah.
She has evasion, but Charlie's going to be able to dish through that pretty soon when he gets his next item. They've set themselves up for a really good game. And Viking just completely on the back foot now. Like, Boom is just in a weird spot where he's got Octarine, but if he gets caught by a single silence, he might just die in all these situations. And there's a lot of them.
Teammate Shad, he's trying to hold his ground here, but they're opening up with the Roar. They're in onto him. Charlie, he's going to have the Omni Slash ready to go as well, and here it is, bouncing around. He's able to take down one, take down two. Toby to fall. Shad gets the ult off. It will kill off Supreme, but he's out of mana. Shad's trying to run. They'll just stay on target. Shad's out of the game. It's 3 dead, no buyback. They're taking out Celery as well through the Primal Split. Triple kill for Charlie. They're falling apart completely, Viking. This should be High Coast being able to at least take a Rax. I mean, with 4 dead, no buyback, they're just going to do so much damage to the base. It's very hard to see how Viking swing this one around. They seem to have lost it completely.
It really does feel like they lost it. That whole wraparound from High Coast around the rush, they broke Viking. These last 8 minutes have been a disaster for them. Just dying one by one, not having the strength that they thought they did. Medusa, Shad felt like he could stand in the middle there, but by no means. Even if the Omni gets shared amongst all these units among the split, it still was more than enough to kill him at the end of the day. 2 racks advantage. No hope now for Viking.
Very, very well done by High Coast. I mean, as we said,
Charlie and Supreme really, really stepping it up today. Like this game, 10-2-6 on Charlie.
Yeah.
Supreme again too. 6-2-11. These two are really stepping up their game.
And High Coast, they're just taking everything here. That'll be the Roar to set up on a Celery. They're moving in. Rolling Thunder does come out from Toby. Controlling Charlie a little bit, but he's still able to put the Blade Fury. Moves in onto Celery. The Bruise down. A buyback will be available. High Coast, they will respect the respawn of Shad. They'll back off, but more than happy with what they were able to take there. 2 sets of racks. A buyback here and there. 21k gold lead now.
Damage is absolutely done. The graph tells the story of this game. That moment where that graph just starts dipping, that's where the Roche is. That's where they start buying back. That's where it was like Viking was starting to get their footing back, keeping the game super even, and just a big hit. High Coast now running away with it. Viking can't actually get outside their base confidently at all versus all this map control.
And if you thought there was any chance of Boom being able to play around the High Coast lineup, you've now got to deal with an Abyssal Blade on the Void Spirit.
Oh my, yep. Okay. More control for him.
Yeah.
And he was having such a good game. It was literally just, it all abruptly happened, but he was having such a flawless game on the puck until those. He caught them off guard. And High Coast, they hit big when they were big timing. It's really been the biggest thing here is now with such gold injection too. Everyone rich. Charlie with a full butterfly after that.
They're going to force out the Stone Gaze from Shad. They'll wait this out. They don't care at all. Charlie's going to be more than fine. Healing Ward's out. He's got the Omni Slash good to go. Supreme is straight in. He's in with the Abyssal on a Boom. Full on Roars there. They're moving. They take out Boom. Boom's down. He'll bite back. Toby comes in with the Rolling Thunder, looking over towards Charlie. Charlie just commits him with the Blade Fury, takes down Celery. See what he turns towards now. They do get the jump back over onto Charlie, pushing it back. The agency expires. It's expired. It expires a second before he dies. That's Charlie out for 90. Can Viking get anything more off the back of this defense? They chase it in. Toby leading the way, but Supreme just cuts across. It's going to be Toby down. Remnant dragging Shad.
They don't want to mess with Shad.
No, they want to kill everybody else. They want to take everyone else down. But Boom and Aramis, they are able to back away. Shad. Have they got the damage to get through him? Oh, man, to dodge there with the rolling boulder. They're
going for the racks.
They are poking at him. Indeed, Aaron and Chessie, they're looking for the objectives. And they've got the Necro books on it as well. They're just messing with Shad, keeping him away from the defense, allowing Chessie to claim the Megas, and he'll do so. Mega creeps are out now. As High Coast will happily split up, get out. Chessie's going to be able to TP away in the trees. They won't even be able to catch him.
Dream almost died there at the end, but yeah, damage is done. They came in and hit hard. Didn't care about committing an Omni Slash onto the puck there. They know how important Boom is. Boom gets disabled, gets abyssal, gets Omni. The Omni actually bounced and killed all the Brew split afterwards too in the fights. Just devastating hits there from High Coast and just really understanding what targets to go for. Again and again, High Coast really impressing today.
Gotcha.
Well, there is only really one thing that could lead to a potential turnaround, and it is that rapier on Shad. He's nearly got the gold for it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw he had the Daedalus queued up. I was really hoping that he would switch it up, and he did. Yeah, I mean, versus the Butterfly too from the Jug, it's just, you have to go. Well, it's going to be a real uphill battle as Mega Creep wave is starting to come over and meeting versus their wave.
Dude, everyone's just getting big items on High Coast with this sort of money. We've got like an MKB on Zibate. We've got a Hex on Error.
Okay. Yeah, just some
casual support items, you know.
We'll call those the tier 4 support items, you know.
Is there any way that Viking hold this? It's going to be so hard. They're so close to having that rapier.
About to have the gold.
He's got to sell something up to buy. I mean, how much is the one going to give him? Just a few hundred. So he's still not quite there. He needs a few more waves out of this with the Megas. It's taking time. I don't even know if he's going to be able to really get out and pick it up from the secret shop. It's going to be very hard. He's got to do some top tier sneaky movements with this courier.
They've got a ward right on top.
Yeah,
they probably know also that the only way Medusa wins this game is if Medusa buys a rapier. So if they just sit around this, they can actually kill it. And okay, there's the relic. Lock it. Good. Make sure you lock it. But they see it, so they know. A rapier's going to be purchased soon. They're hunting for it.
They are.
Hawk is on it.
They've got it.
They got it.
That's Relic out of the game for 3 minutes and 40 seconds. And that is probably going to be 3 minutes and 40 seconds too long.
Okay, Shad, I think sell your wand and just buy a small crit. Honestly, at this point, he needs anything he can get, but I don't even know if that's even a good option. Let's see.
It's High Coast. They're ready to start. Looking to close this one out.
Yep. All they have to do now, if they want to be patient, wait for the 2 side lanes to come in.
Error's in.
He's going to come in when they see Boom.
Error's able to get him with the Hex into the Roar. They've locked down Boom. Boom, is he able to jump out of this? No, Supreme's in with the Abyssal. Boom's taken out. Shad will pop the Stone Gaze, but they're able to kite it out. They don't care about it too much. Rolling Thunder will go crashing in onto Charlie, but Charlie's still able to get the Omni Slash off as Toby will be taken out. Celery as well falls to the power of the Juggernaut. Triple kill for Charlie. They turn towards Shad. They'll pick him up outside of the base. There's no escaping High Coast here. As GG is called, High Coast, they'll take game 2. And with that, the completed series 2-0 here. High Coast against Viking. As Viking, they just have another rough day at the office. This has not been a great league for them at all so far. It's, of course, been a rough one as well for High Coast. But this series, if anything's going to be a big turning point for the future of their performance here in the league, this series would be it. As they